Big breaking news coming in here on headlines today. The Shiv Sena has indicated that it is ready to bury the hatchet with the BJP in Maharashtra and at the centre. The lone Sena minister in the Narendra Modi cabinet, Anant Gite, has told our sister channel Aaj Tak that he will continue to serve in the Modi cabinet. Gite, who along with other Shiv Sena MPs attended the high tea by Prime Minister Modi today, said that the BJP and the Sena have got a mandate to work together. Gite added that both the saffron parties have been working together for 25 years.
क्या अब शिवसेना बीजेपी के साथ सरकार में शामिल होने जा रही है, या क्योंकि अब बीजेपी की शर्त के अनुसार ही आपको आना पड़ेगा, सरेंडर करके शिवसेना को आना पड़ेगा?
इसमें कोई सरेंडर वेंडर होने की कोई बात है ही नहीं। और इस संदर्भ में जो भी निर्णय है, हमारे पक्ष प्रमुख उद्धव साहब ठाकरे काफ़ी सक्षम है। महाराष्ट्र के हित में वो उचित निर्णय करेंगे। मतलब
बिना शिवसेना की सरकार बनेगी महाराष्ट्र में? अब
नहीं, इस पर चर्चा करने से कोई नतीजा नहीं निकलेगा। निर्णय जो भी करना है, वो सबसे अधिक सीटें भारतीय जनता पार्टी को आई है, वो निश्चित रूप में योग्य निर्णय करेंगे। और जो भी निर्णय होगा, चाहे भारतीय जनता पार्टी हो या शिवसेना हो, जो भी निर्णय है वो राष्ट्र के, महाराष्ट्र के हित में होगा।
लेकिन सरकार में आप चाहते हैं कि भागीदार हों, सरकार में शामिल?
निश्चित रूप में शिवसेना पुराना गठबंधन रहा है भारतीय जनता पार्टी का। ये चुनाव में यह गठबंधन नहीं रहा, लेकिन 25 साल की दोस्ती रही है। और इसीलिए फिर सरकार में यदि शरीक होने का अवसर मिलता है तो निश्चित रूप में उसका स्वागत होगा।
लेकिन अब आपकी शर्तें नहीं चलेंगी, बीजेपी की शर्तों के हिसाब से सरेंडर करके आपको आना पड़ेगा?
कोई सरेंडर होने की बात नहीं है, ना कोई शर्तों की बात है। महाराष्ट्र की जनता ने महाराष्ट्र के हित में यह अवसर दिया है भारतीय जनता पार्टी और शिवसेना को। भारतीय जनता पार्टी को भी स्पष्ट बहुमत नहीं मिला है, 2 नंबर में शिवसेना है। तो महाराष्ट्र की जनता चाहती है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी और शिवसेना का मिलकर सरकार बने। डेडलॉक वगैरह कुछ है ही नहीं है। अभी हर एक को अपना अपना निर्णय करना है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने भी अपना नेता अब तक तय नहीं किया है। वो निर्णय जब हो जाएगा उसके बाद में आगे चर्चा होगी।
Meanwhile, the Maharashtra deadlock continues. NDA MPs had a meeting and there was no discussion whatsoever on the Maharashtra deadlock between the BJP and the Shiv Sena. Amidst the deadlock, a crucial BJP meet will take place on the 28th of October to decide on the Maharashtra Chief Minister's name. Home Minister Rajnath Singh will be in Mumbai on the same day. A final decision will be taken on the 29th of October. Republican Party leader Ramdas Athawale, after emerging from that meeting today, claimed that his party is urging the BJP not to take the help of the NCP in any way during government formation.
नहीं, महाराष्ट्र के बारे में तो हमने अमित शाह जी से बात किया है और राजीव प्रताप रूडी जी से बात किया है और जल्दी सरकार बनाने के लिए कोशिश करो। तो बोले अभी 2-3 दिन में सरकार बनेगी, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। हमने तो सुझाव दिया है कि भाई शिवसेना को साथ में लेकर ही सरकार बनेगी, तो ही मतलब आगे वो सरकार अच्छी 5 साल चल सकती है। एनसीपी के सपोर्ट से सरकार बिल्कुल नहीं बनानी चाहिए, ऐसा हमने उनको बताया है और बाकी की भी चर्चा हुई है। तो इतना ही।
हमारे पार्लियामेंट्री बोर्ड ने जिनको केंद्रीय निरीक्षक के नाते भेजा है, ऐसे केंद्रीय गृह मंत्री आदरणीय राजनाथ सिंह जी, राष्ट्रीय महामंत्री और महाराष्ट्र के नए प्रभारी आदरणीय जगत प्रकाश नड्डा जी, चुनाव के जो प्रभारी रहे ऐसे आदरणीय माथुर जी और हमारे भूतपूर्व प्रभारी रहे आदरणीय राजीव प्रताप रूडी जी, ये सभी नेतागण 28 तारीख को मुंबई में आएंगे और उनके साथ सभी विधायक दल की बैठक में नए नेता का चयन प्रक्रिया पूरी की जाएगी।
It was Deepavali Milan organized by the Prime Minister, but the center of attraction was Shiv Sena MPs. Ramdas Athawale did speak to BJP President Amit Shah on the need to take Sena as an alliance, but no conversation on Maharashtra deadlock happened. The deadlock continues and the high tea failed to break the ice. With camera person Vakar, Brijesh Pandey for Headlines Today.
Prime Minister Modi has briefed NDA MPs over his governance agenda during the party earlier this evening at his official residence, 7 Racecourse Road. The Prime Minister, who addressed the MPs, said that India's poor need to be the target and the centre of all government schemes, be it the Jan Dhan Yojana or other flagship schemes. The Prime Minister also laid stress on his Clean India mission. The NDA MPs were also addressed by BJP veteran L.K. Advani and as many as 3 union ministers, including Arun Jaitley, Nitin Gadkari and Narendra Singh Tomar.
We had an address by the Prime Minister who talked about cleanliness drive, about various issues of the government, how a common member of parliament can turn the things in this country, how a common member of parliament can be a symbol of a positive political entity, and how the respectability of politicians can be enhanced in this country. He talked in a gamut of subjects. The spectrum was very wide, but it was held in a very cordial environment. The Prime Minister happily endorsed the achievements of the Bharatiya Janata Party and greeted Mr. Amit Shah on his victory in Haryana and Maharashtra. So it was a major get-together and in the 5th month of government.
His message are always very good. It's for the public to serve for them as their workers, as their sevaks. And so that was it. स्वच्छता, yes, स्वच्छता तो हम सबको करना चाहिए. I think he's also praised the role the media has. ये आडवाणी जी ने भी कहा कि दिवाली सबसे अच्छी थी, क्योंकि जब से हम लोग रहे हैं और अब देखा जाए तो उस हॉल में जगह नहीं थी, कुछ लोगों को तो खड़ा भी रहना पड़ा.
It was Deepavali Milan organized by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi for all 335 NDA member of parliaments. The first to speak on this gathering was Lal Krishna Advani, who praised both Narendra Modi and Amit Shah for taking BJP to newer political heights, especially after the electoral success in Maharashtra and Haryana. After that, Finance and Defence Minister Arun Jaitley gave a presentation on Prime Minister's ambitious Jan Dhan Yojana. After that, the Surface Transport Minister Nitin Gadkari also gave a presentation about how the other Prime Minister's Adarsh Gram Yojana has to be developed in future. Apart from that, the Labour Minister Narendra Tomar also told the 335 NDA member of Parliament about the kind of labour reform he's envisaging and that the BJP-led NDA government is planning to implement. After that, it was the turn of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who gave a lowdown on all the schemes that was being launched by the Prime Minister's by the BJP-led NDA government, and how he expected all single member of parliaments who were present there at 7 RCR, how he expected them to start practicing what the Prime Minister told the whole country to follow, exhorted 125 crore Indians to follow. And especially on the issue of a Swachh Bharat scheme, he said that he expected every single MP to start working on Swachh Bharat and also to spread awareness about this particular program in almost every single constituency or of single villages which they have. The whole program was conducted in an extremely cordial fashion, and once after the Prime Minister concluded his speech, a high tea was served to all the member of parliaments. With camera person Vakar, Brijesh Pandey for Headlines Today.
Well, there's fresh trouble brewing for Congress President Sonia Gandhi's son-in-law Robert Vadra. The newly formed BJP government in Haryana is all set to take up the Robert Vadra land deals in the state and investigate them. Just hours after ML Khattar was sworn in as the first BJP Chief Minister of Haryana along with 9 ministers, the Chief Minister and several members of his cabinet hinted at a relook at the Vadra DLF land deals. The BJP government has already made its intentions clear that corruption cases revolving around Sonia Gandhi's son-in-law will be investigated. The land deals, which allegedly led to windfall gains for Sonia Gandhi's son-in-law, was a key poll issue, with even Prime Minister Modi taking them up during the campaign.
सर, जितना आपको समर्थन मिला है, एक बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज है. पहले तो मोदी वेव रहा है, आप कितना सहयोग से कितना आगे बढ़ा सकेंगे इसे?
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. आज सब जनता जो है उसका सबका धन्यवाद करता हूँ. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सबका. धन्यवाद.
सर, जो आपके चैलेंजेस हैं, पहले तो 1 नवंबर को है कि किस तरह से पंजाब के पे स्केल्स को लागू करना है. 81,000 करोड़ रुपीस का डेट है. क्या क्या आपके लिए लिहाज से चैलेंजेस हैं, कैसे संभालेंगे?
अभी प्रारंभ किया है और बहुत जल्दी आप लोगों को जानकारी देंगे और विधिवत जानकारी देंगे.
सर, बहुत बड़ी बहुमत आपको हासिल हुई है, पहली बार आप सीएम बने. सर, ये बताइए, एक अहम मुद्दा रहा है डीएलएफ का, रॉबर्ट वाड्रा का. क्या वो केस खोले जाएंगे? क्या कुछ किसी तरह का एक्शन होगा?
अभी अपने साथियों के साथ में बैठने वाला हूँ, बातें बताएंगे.
पर इस पे कोई सोच विचार होगा?
सब होगा, सब बातें होंगी. धन्यवाद.
सर, मैं एक और बार अपना सवाल दोहराती हूँ. सर, जो डीएलएफ का है, रॉबर्ट वाड्रा के करप्शन का बहुत बड़ा मामला था, क्या वो केस दोबारा खोला जाएगा? सर,
सब बातें होंगी, निश्चित समय पर होंगी. थोड़ा हम अपने साथियों से बैठकर विचार करेंगे.
हम हरियाणा में पिछले 10 वर्षों में जमीन के घोटाले के जितने भी मामले हैं, एक मामले की एक इंच की हम सूक्ष्मता से, गहनता से जांच करके दोषियों पर कड़ी कार्रवाई करेंगे. इस प्रकार की उदाहरण के रूप में कार्रवाई करेंगे ताकि आने वाले समय में कोई हरियाणा में इस प्रकार के घोटाले भ्रष्टाचार करने की हिम्मत और हिमाकत न कर सके।
हम चप्पा चप्पा जमीन की जांच करवाएंगे कि जिस पर्पज के लिए वो अधिकृत की गई थी वो उसी पर्पज के लिए इस्तेमाल हुई है या उसका कोई अन्य इस्तेमाल हुआ है लोगों को फायदा पहुंचाने के लिए, क्योंकि हम निष्पक्ष जांच करवाएंगे सारी चीजों की, और जो दोषी पाया जाएगा उसको हम बख्शेंगे नहीं, चाहे वो रॉबर्ट वाड्रा हो।
We do not want to make, we do not want to set any precedent that people may think that out of revenge we are doing anything. That is the reason. So I demand if they are investigating Vadra and they have respect for the law, they should investigate the son-in-law of former Prime Minister also.
Well, the BJP for the first time in 48 years has sworn in a chief minister of its own in Haryana. Manohar Lal Khattar is the new chief minister of Haryana. So what has the new chief minister of the state got on his plate as his term has just begun? We try and put all of that together for you in this report.
मैं मनोहर लाल ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगा।
He is the first chief minister the BJP has ever had in Haryana in 48 years and the first non-Jat CM the state has had in the past 18.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। आज सब जनता जो है उसका सबका धन्यवाद करता हूँ। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सबका, धन्यवाद। अभी प्रारंभ किया है और बहुत जल्दी आप लोगों को जानकारी देंगे और विधिवत जानकारी देंगे।
6 cabinet ministers, Kavita Jain, Rambilas Sharma, Captain Abhimanyu, Om Prakash Dhankar, Anil Viz, Narbir Singh and 3 others, Bikram Singh Thekadar, Krishna Kumar Bedi and Karan Dev Kamboj in the capacity of ministers of state with independent charge took the oath. Known to be close to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Khattar has tough tasks awaiting him. The populist measures taken by the outgoing Congress government during its term will have to be taken up by Khattar. He will have to fulfill the lofty promises made by the top rung during campaigning in Haryana. In a volatile state with strong and complex caste divisions, Khattar will have to endear himself to other segments of the society. Water remains an issue of dispute with Delhi and Punjab. Also, the contentious Robert Vadra DLF land deal cleared by the Hooda government will need to be handled with utmost care. The reins have been handed over to Manohar Lal Khattar for taking the party forward. The challenges and the responsibility entrusted is immense. First-timers BJP have won over the people, but now they need to make a place for themselves in the people's heart to justify their verdict. Bureau Report, Headlines Today.
The BJP, high on its success in the Maharashtra and Haryana polls, is expected to go in for polls in the national capital as well. On August the 5th, the Supreme Court had given 5 weeks' time to the centre to take a decision on dissolution of the Delhi Assembly, questioning it for continuing to keep the House in suspended animation. According to sources, Prime Minister Modi is not keen on engineering defections to form a government in the capital. The Election Commission's announcement to hold by-polls in Krishnanagar, Mehrauli and Tughlakabad assembly seats has further irked opposition parties. The BJP, however, maintains that it is ready for elections as and when the Lieutenant Governor calls for them. Well, the long wait for the finalization of seating arrangements in the Lok Sabha is expected to be complete next month. The Cabinet Committee on Parliamentary Affairs will meet tomorrow either at Arun Jaitley or Venkaiah Naidu's residence or office to decide on the dates for the winter session of Parliament. The most sought after seats in the House are the front row ones, which are seen as something of a status symbol among members of Parliament. Sources have told Headlines Today that the seating arrangement has already been decided. Prime Minister Modi and Rajnath Singh will of course occupy the cornermost seats to the right of the Speaker, followed by top ministers like Arun Jaitley, Sushma Swaraj and Venkaiah Naidu. They will be followed by the BJP and its allies. Former Prime Minister H.D. Devegowda and Samajwadi Party Chief Mulayam Singh Yadav are expected to be given front row seats, as well as will be Sonia Gandhi, Deputy Speaker M. Tambidurai and leader of the largest opposition party, Mallikarjun Kharge, will be seated to the extreme left of the Speaker. Well, after the massive devastation caused by Cyclone Hudhud, India is now bracing for another one. According to the Cyclone Department, Nilofer is now moving towards Oman and is expected to continue in that direction for the next 2 days. However, then it will change direction and move towards northern Gujarat and adjoining Pakistan. The cyclone is expected to make landfall in and around Karachi on the 31st of October. However, there is no confirmation on the precise data that has been put out so far.
आज दोपहर को जो मेट्रोलॉजिकल एनालिसिस किया गया है, इसके हिसाब से डीप डिप्रेशन अभी इंटेंसिफिकेशन होकर एक साइक्लोन स्टॉर्म में परिणत हो गया है और ये लगभग 1270 किलोमीटर्स वेस्ट साउथ वेस्ट ऑफ मुंबई से केंद्रीभूत है और ये लगभग धीरे धीरे अधिक इंटेंसिफिकेशन होकर एक सीवियर साइक्लोन स्टॉर्म बनेगा अगले 24 आवर्स के अंदर। इनिशियली ये नॉर्थ वेस्ट वार्ड गति करेगा और 48 घंटे के बाद ये नॉर्थ ईस्ट वार्ड मूवमेंट करेगा। ओमान कोस्ट के आसपास आएगा मगर ओमान क्रॉस नहीं करेगा। इसके प्रभाव में ओमान कोस्ट में कुछ स्क्वाली विंड्स वगैरह हो सकता है और वहाँ क्लाउडीनेस भी आएगा और कुछ बारिश भी हो सकता है। इसके बाद 48 घंटे के बाद 28 तारीख से ये नॉर्थ ईस्ट वार्ड मूवमेंट शुरू करेगा और ये पाकिस्तान कोस्ट और एडजॉइनिंग नॉर्थ गुजरात कोस्ट की तरफ बढ़ने का।
A shocking story from Uttar Pradesh now, where 2 policemen were allegedly stripped, their uniforms torn in western UP's Baghpat district. The entire incident was captured on a mobile phone. Initial reports suggest that the father of the chairman for the Centre of Remote Sensing reportedly threatened a sub-inspector and 2 constables who had gone to Mavikala village to make a few arrests in connection with a separate criminal case. The chairman enjoys the cabinet rank. Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav reportedly sacked 82 chairmen and advisors of the state with minister rank following news of this incident.
मेरे पूछे बगैर गांव में घुसना चाहिए। तुझे बता दिया हमने बात एक मानो तेरी बात सुनने का अभी आपने सुनी मेरी बात। हम सालिन को तो बात नहीं करते। हमने सीओ के कपड़े उतार कर यहाँ 2 सिपाहियों के कपड़े उतार कर वापस कर दिए थे। कपड़े उतार के राइफल ले ली थी और जो तेरी समझ में आवे सो तस्करा डाल दिए। मेरा नाम धर्मपाल है, बता रहा हूँ तुझे, ध्यान रखिए। तुम्हारी हिम्मत कैसे होती मेरे तबादला करने की? मैंने ये कहा क्या है? चौकीदारी तो है तू और क्या है बता तू? चौकीदारी तो है तू, हम तो प्रदेश में मंत्री हैं।
On the heinous sexual assault of a 3-year-old in a Bangalore school earlier, the Bangalore police has arrested the alleged perpetrator of the crime. While normalcy seems to be returning to the school, parents continue to remain concerned about their children's safety.
First arrest in the Bangalore school sexual assault case. The city police has arrested an office attendant after he was identified by the toddler.
We have arrested one individual today in this case. The name of the person is Gundappa, son of Muni Venkatappa, who is a resident of Jalahalli area. He has been working as an office assistant in the school, in the said school, for the last 2 years.
Based on the child recognizing the accused and medical tests, the police zeroed in on 45-year-old Gundappa.
So we have to check, recheck, and we have taken help of specialists who are certified by the government. So in front of the specialist, like we have found like sufficient evidence, and we have taken all other evidences also in account, and then only we have confirmed the arrest of this person.
Gundappa's daughter, however, claims her father is innocent.
ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ರಫ್ಫಾಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ರಫ್ಫಾಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಅದರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಅದನ್ನ ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಆತರ ಬುದ್ಧಿನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಪ್ಪನ್ಗೆ. ನಮಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಕುಟುಂಬ ಇದೆ ನಮ್ದು, ನಾವ್ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಆತರ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? ನಾವು ಹೊಟ್ಟೆ ಪಾಡಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಕೆಲ್ಸಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ನಮ್ ತಂದೆ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಸಾಕೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ಆತರ ಬಿಹೇವಿಯರ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಸರ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ?
The police, while assuring parents of their children's safety, informed them that most safety guidelines were found to be in place at the school. The school has however also come under the scanner for allegedly holding unauthorized classes without a proper license.
And our senior police officer, DCP, ACP, police commissioner, all visited same day, and they are doing the investigation. But you know, the child is very small child, about 3.5 years, very sensitive, and we are taking every care and see that investigation will the thing, and we will see that who are responsible for that heinous crime will be booked and punished.
Classes are to resume from standards 1 to 5 soon, but parents have been left worried in the wake of this shocking incident. With Pratibha in Bangalore, Bureau Report, Headlines Today.
India's most wanted, Dawood Ibrahim, seems to have gone underground. According to top intelligence sources, sustained joint efforts by India and the US's security agencies have forced the underworld terrorist to leave his high-security mansion in Karachi's Clifton area and go into hiding at an undisclosed location, perhaps on the Afghan border. Top intelligence sources involved in tracking the D Company claim that Pakistan's ISI has helped Dawood move to a high-security zone close to the Pakistan-Afghanistan border. Sources say the ISI is extremely apprehensive about the new Indo-US cooperation to smash the D Company's network. Indian intelligence agencies closely monitoring all activities and movements of Dawood have registered a lull for a while now, indicating the gangster has gone underground and is not interacting with his close associates. India and the US have been working together on choking funding to the D Company. The cooperation was reiterated during Modi's recent prime ministerial visit to the United States, with both countries pledging to dismantle safe havens for terrorists and criminal networks and to disrupt all financial and tactical support for networks like the Al-Qaeda, Lashkar-e-Taiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed, the D Company and the Haqqanis. National Security Advisor Ajit Doval, part of the Prime Minister's delegation to the United States recently, had in fact stayed back to discuss the issue with his American counterpart and other senior Obama administration officials.